Hello, everyone. Good evening. I'm Janice of Mundo, and today we're going to have our first Make Time for What Matters IG Live session, where we're going to talk about how to make time for what matters, which is our theme for this year. And we're going to be joined by our partner expert. Hi, I am our partner expert and our community program director, Kit Malvar Llamas. Hi, Kit. So we're waiting for her to go on so we can start the session. But it's nice to see all of you joining here. I am here in Nova Scotia, Canada, far away from all of you. But we are also on quarantine, so I can totally relate with everything going on there, although not in the same level with your lockdown and all, but we have the same concerns, I guess, in a way, just as the whole world does, right? So I think this is a very apt time to talk about making time for what matters, especially we're stuck at home. So here's Kit, she's coming on. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk and learn from Kit. And as you know, she is... Hello, Kit. Good evening.
Hello, everyone. Why you look so fresh, Janice?
Yes, I have not brushed my hair in 3 days.
Hello, everyone.
You don't brush the
Yes,
hair.
yes.
So I think it felt good to brush my hair today.
Welcome. So good to see you.
So Kit is in Quezon City. And
Yes.
we want to take advantage of technology. Actually, even before the COVID happenings, this was really in the plans to do IG live sessions with mommas, with moms in the community. So thank you for joining us. We're really excited to be with you today. So Kit is super sanay with these things because she both learns and gives talks and workshops online. So this is her thing. Like, hindi na kailangan mag-project, no, Kit?
Yeah. Actually, with the tool using the social media, this is still I'm still learning. So I'm learning with the community to be together. This is the new normal. So we're learning together also.
Yes. So Kit and I planned for this the past days, and what we're gonna do is we're going to talk about first our tips from you, Kit. We'd love to hear your tips on making time for what matters, and then making time for silly, which I think is still relevant. Actually, even more relevant now. I think that things are so serious and worrisome. And then after, we're going to give them a few minutes in the end to ask questions, and we can say hi to people, mga bate, ganyan. Okay. So you want to start? Let's talk about making time for what matters.
Make time.
So, we are all time-starved moms. Time is really scarce for us. Like, we juggle so many things. So what can you say to us moms so that we can really make the most of our time?
Yes, I guess the first is let's deconstruct the whole thing. Make time for what matters. So when you say make time, we need to also stop and think. What do you say when you make time? Who is the source of time? Who creates time? It's really us. It's really internal. So we are the source of time. So we can also check in. If we are the source of time, then we are also the source of our feelings. We're also the source of our energy. So that's why it's good when you say make time. It's very proactive because it's coming from us. So it's not external to us. It's really internal. And then for what matters, when you say for, it's very intentional. It's for something. It's for something outside of you to channel this energy, to channel the source. So we need to make sure the source is also coming from love, coming from abundance. And then what matters is different from each one of us. So that's why we cannot, when you come into this space, we cannot really judge anyone, more so ourselves. So it's really very apt and timely, especially with what's happening, that when we say make time for what matters, because right now with what's happening, we have a community quarantine, and it's experienced globally. So it's not only COVID, it's not only here in the Philippines, it's really happening. It's a global experience for us. So I think it's an invitation for us it's a wake up call that we're really just one community. As experienced now, see, Janice, you're in a different continent, and then everyone is going live from different parts of I don't know, I'm sure not just the Philippines. We can also have some people present with us. So that's one. So if we are the source of time, there are 3 B's we can work on. B for as BE. Okay, it's also a reminder for us that we are still human beings. So we're not just human doings. As moms, kasi sometimes we feel like we can do everything and anything. So now that something is not within our control, it feels different. It feels, we can get panicky. So we need to remind ourselves with the 3 B's. The first B is to be present. So when we feel like, so now the thing right now together, let's just be present. Be aware of your body. Be aware of your senses, our 5 senses. Where are you now? How are you feeling? And then just acknowledge that. And the present moment is really the only truth that we have right now. So we can't. When we rehearse the future, that's when anxiety kicks in. Anxiety naman is just a form of when we project to the future too much also. So we can't do that. Or when we replay the past. So maybe, some of these things has happened to us before.
Mga regret.
But if you, mga regrets. So regrets if we think about the past. And then anxiety if we think about the future. So be present first in the moment right now, and then that wherever we are still, be grateful that we are together wherever we are, and just be present. And then the next B is breathe. So for us to be able to be present is really to go back to the breath. So the importance of really aligning ourselves and just, even be grateful we are breathing. And that we're not, we are still really, we're still alive, and that there's still hope. So when we breathe also, there are 2 things we can be more sensitive about. One is acknowledge the external, what's happening externally. So, and take it as is. So, and not put too much stories behind what we're hearing. And then also acknowledging internal feelings. So if you're feeling, you're anxious, just acknowledge it. Because if you don't acknowledge it, it will keep on popping in our heads. So acknowledge its presence, and then at the same time, just center yourself with your breathing. And then the third, let's break it down. So between that, since we are the source of time and we are the source of the energy, they say between the stimulus, there's a response. So when we start breathing, we stay in the moment, and then so we can break it down. When we are too anxious, we can't be calm. Then that's the time we can't really think of solutions, or we can't really think positively. So we'll just break it down when you're already calm. So we can't innovate or we can't create anything if our mind, if our body is not at the place of rest. That's why we call it rest and recreation. So we need to be at calm. So when we're already calm, that's when we look at the present data. Okay, number 1, we need to be proactive instead of panic or phobic. So when we are proactive, so we take things that we can really do. So wash our hands, the things that we can really prepare. Wash our hands, and then be more conscious of cleanliness, of hygiene, and also without panicking, because if you have enough, we really have enough. And the news naman tells us, even if we're in community quarantine, the stores are still gonna be open. You know, the pharmacy was still gonna be open. There's still gonna be food that's gonna be available, so we don't have to really panic. So, it's just that the call for us is really to just stay indoors first, and then while we're indoors, well, we have our list as moms. We had our wish. If we had more time, I would be able to. So now it's given to us. You have more time. We're forced to be able. So what are the things? Go back to your list and think of those things that we wish we had more time. If we don't have to do. So you can review that list and with your children, with your kids, or if they're still young, you know, if they're still toddlers, so you can really, you know, relax more, stay a little longer in bed, and just have longer coffee or conversations, and then just really check in with yourself. So, and then the things also that you can, of course, you can also think what we can do, because we can also get to, how do you call it, especially for people who are, you know, who don't get to go to work, so no pay, no work. So what are the things that we can't be too, if we are business owners, like entrepreneur moms also, if you're business owners, of course, we would like to make sure our employees are taken care of. So we also look at our, you know, our finances, and then see, okay, you know, this is how much we can afford to give, how much we can afford, what we can do right now. So it's really a time for us to also channel the energy, also for taking care of others. So within our own circle of influence, we can,
So Kit, I just wanted to recap. No? So the three B's are important. So it's be present, breathe, and also
break down.
break it down. So thank you, Mommy
Break it
Nicole,
down.
for Mommy Nicole is an honor student. She broke it down.
Hi, Nicole. Hi, Mom.
So I think also very helpful. No? It's basically really being mindful and aware of how we feel, and to appreciate moments also. And there's a certain, in terms of mindfulness, it's also, as you said, using your senses, right?
Yes.
Really, you know, appreciate the colors outside. Just look at the sky or look at your child's faces. Yeah, Nicole. So
Yes.
faces,
Correct.
on your children's faces, and then maybe eat slower and savor the flavors in your mouth, things like that. I also wanted to maybe bring out the letting go of things. Kasi nga, we as moms tend to be control freaks, di ba? Because now we're taking care of other people. So we have a schedule, we have targets for our kids, milestones, we have plans and plans. And sometimes now everything is like on hold or uncertain. So we do have to detach a little and let go. And it's not easy, but we do have to let go so that we, as you said, won't be anxious about the future. Right?
Correct. I like that, letting go kasi of our attachments. Kasi it really reminds us of our mortality as human beings, diba?
Yes.
Parang this COVID naman, it's always a fear of parents that we'll get sick, or our children will get sick, or our partners will get sick. So it's not really, the fear is there. It's just becoming more alarming, especially because of the pandemic. But to let go of those and attachments also.
Yeah.
And
maybe I
I
think there's a lot of posts online also that help a lot. Like, diba, we can panic about it and be worried, but then really we're being kept home to contain it. Diba? So maybe go back to the purpose of everything. Diba? Parang why are we being kept home? It's not because, it's gonna spread to how many thousands cases. I mean, we can think about that, but we can also think why. It's just really to contain. So focus on that na lang, so we also don't panic. And Just keep
Yeah.
breathing well. Remember that we only use a certain percentage of our lungs, right, in a regular day. So when you just take a deep breath,
Yes.
and then breathe out slowly, and then you'll get also automatically centered.
Correct. That's a lot. Which brings us to our theme for the make time for silly. Diba? That's a time that now we can turn things when we let go kasi of our attachments. Those are the things that keeps us from being so rigid sometimes, without judgment.
Yeah.
There are people who are I'm one of those people who have like checklists. Pero we can throw away the checklist and really make parang flavor our moments with being silly. So finding more times to just let go and be silly with the things that we used to do. So even things that connecting with our children, touch on your lighter side of not too much on the how do you call it, the order, for example, around you. You have to keep things, all the toys in one place, all the art materials in one place. So sometimes, be the one to start it.
There's Gary.
Hello, Gary!
Daddy Nibbles.
Hi! Yeah, that's a silly person there.
Yeah. Talking about silly, there is it.
Yeah. So
yeah, let's not put aside the value of fun and humor. I believe in the magic of laughter and fun. So, di ba, parang I've always been a fan of fun. I'm a fan of fun. No? So, especially as talking to you, Kit, about how we should keep our children's childhoods, intact. We don't have to project to them all our fears. I mean, I'm sure they feel it anyway. So, if we can keep things fun at home and keep it light.
Yes. So,
yeah.
learn what they're empathizing with their kids. This is the time that what makes them laugh, what makes them inis, what makes them, what piques their curiosity. So, join them, be present with them, and then breathe with them, and then break it down with them. So it's parang making it more inclusive also. And this morning parang you were telling the story to Janice this morning when Kobe was making breakfast.
Yeah.
So the little reason that
he wanted to cook on his own way, so he's asking me how to cook his breakfast. He was doing his own technique. So I was like, why are you cooking it that way? I was kind of judging him. So he was saying, I want to try my own way. So when I looked at the pan, he was cooking the eggs and the sausages in one pan. It was funny. But anyway, it's still edible. But it's just nice. We allow them to, although my kids are not really kids anymore, but it just allow them to explore on their own and make light of the situation. Don't have to be OC about things sometimes.
Yeah. So if we are, to be able to be whole, also explore also in yourself. If you're the type who's very OC, or you're the type who's very into the rigidness of things, then this is your time to explore and experiment. Be the first one to be silly with the people at home. So, and there's so many things you can really do. Like, if you're gonna watch a movie or whatever, watch it upside down, or little things that how does it look like if we rearrange some things in your suddenly, like things that their kids or the people at home don't expect you to do, you'll be the first one to do it. Volunteer.
Actually, moms have been sharing on our page their TikTok videos, so it's been fun watching you guys.
Yes, exactly.
Some are dancing, some are making drama. Ano ba yung tawag doon sa mga monologues? Super funny. So keep doing that. for me, I think when I said I willing to do a TikTok, like Reese was, really, you wanna do a TikTok? Diba? Parang, kasi nga it's not something you normally do or that you can goof around with them. You just show your fun side and surprise them.
Yeah. And draw with them. You know, when was the last time you played with them or drew with them? Color with them.
Yeah.
You know. I didn't realize my daughter, I have a 9-year-old daughter. I didn't realize she hasn't seen me draw.
Oh.
So this morning, well, my husband is celebrating his birthday tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we were doing some cards. And then she was like, "Wow, Mom, you can draw." I'm like, "Wow, I can draw." I don't think I can draw. Wow, that's hard. So, things that you can learn a new language with them. So they're taking, learn what they're also learning in school. So,
or no, before when Reese was younger, she set up a spa for me. So like we set up mga pails, mga basins, and then we did foot spa on each other, like that.
Nice.
And then she was the one who suggested. I think she saw it on YouTube. The blindfold makeup challenge. So we put blindfolds on each other. The makeup that's not very, that you don't normally.
Yeah, my daughter is very important.
Sharing.
Okay.
Hello, Martina.
Oh.
Let's
Hi.
ask Martina. Martina, do you like
Martina.
silly moments with your mom?
Yeah,
Do you
why?
like being silly? Oh, yeah. Give me an example of when your mom, international, when your mom was silly.
When your mom was silly. When am I silly?
Okay, one time we were making a TikTok, like those videos, and then my mom started randomly dancing in the middle of it.
Oh,
She
you
forgot the
post it.
steps.
I want to see.
Oh no. I don't think you'd like to see that.
Yeah.
Wait.
So keep sharing your silly moments. It's I think it's something that we need also now to just laugh. I don't know, you can do tickle attacks with your kids. Anything. Remember also how you were as a child. Pick flower, and you're not supposed to pick flowers for that. Count the flowers outside.
Yes, especially we're at home. About things that you can, start doing things with them. So tell them also what you're doing. What does Mama do when you're talk to them about. You can really learn a lot from them.
Yeah.
Like if there are things that you're thinking about, even discuss what your fears are or what it's good to see from their perspective. I like some moms are posting also questions that they ask with their kids.
Yeah.
And then just record it. I found the recording of
that's nice.
So you ask your kids these different random questions and then you record it. So I found 5 years ago I asked them these questions and so there's a video on their answers and then they're watching it and they don't even remember they answered it that way. Pero it's just good to also know they'll rediscover their own selves when they were at that age. So
Yeah,
it's a good
nice.
time to
Yeah.
yeah, and take time. We take a lot of pictures, but we haven't really had the time to really look at them. So, go through a memory lane, just, go through your digital files also. It's time to detox also of the things that are still important also there. And then laugh at yourselves, how you look like. Even just last year, you probably look so different already. And then, those things that can help you just be, just
I
be
think,
silly.
I don't know if there's scientific basis, but people say laughter is the best medicine. So I guess it can really reduce stress, diba? And maybe boost when stress is down, so your immune system gets better, which is important now. Stress is the number one cause of low immunity, right? So we have to eliminate stress. So and laughter for me really boosts up. I mean, automatically you see a shift in the room, you see a shift in your mood, diba? And I think it's also the best way to bond with your kids. In the end, they'll remember the moments, diba? The moments.
Yes.
Even at simple moments lang.
Yeah.
Or maybe
So,
make a cave with your blankets or things like that. Oh,
the fort, diba? Oo nga.
fort.
Make those forts, and it induces imagination. And I think, free play is proven to be a good source of for kids to learn resilience, because it's something they can control when they can imagine things. That like a free play, so just allow them to just no rules, just allow them to just use their imagination and talk about it. Because when they know that they can control the situation, it builds their resilience muscle.
Yeah.
So that there are no mistakes, and they're just allowed to be able to create their own rules. And even if they fight with a sibling, let them
Yeah.
just discover how do they solve their fights. Kasi with children, kasi they're really the most resilient people, diba? After away.
Yeah.
So they can really let go of all these negativity and just start over again. So, and when you find yourself, like, you get, your triggers, negative triggers, just go back to the 3 Ps. Be present, acknowledge it, and then turn it to something silly. Why? Breathe. And then when you break it down, turn it to something silly. Why am I, this is silly. I mean, we can't really control the future. So go back to the present.
Yeah.
What you can really control. Yeah. Free play. Yes, Mia. Free play.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we can go to any questions or sharings you might have, moms. You can just type them down here. We can also greet some people. No?
Yeah.
Okay, you can
I see your mom
you can read the comment, no? Okay.
Yes, I can read a comment.
Hello, everyone who's here. I see a lot of familiar names. Hello, everyone. It's nice to see you. Hope everyone is well.
Yes. We really let's connect more. So we have time to be online, but at the same time we can also, take time to also be disconnected to connect.
Yeah.
So,
Maybe we can talk about managing tablet time too. Diba? So, well, it can also be a help naman. I mean, technology, diba? So it's just a matter of balancing use of.
Correct. Hi, Mark. Hi, Abby.
Yeah, Tico, you saying
hi, Divine. Mia. Good to see you guys here. I hope everyone's okay. Where's Tikoy?
Yeah, Tikoy is there. Say hi daw to Sakit. Thanks, Diana. And I am. Hello.
Hi.
Okay, do you have any questions? You can ask it anything, or you can ask me anything.
Ask it anything.
Hi, Aaron.
So,
tips. So do you want to share? If you don't have questions, you can also share what you've done with your children. Hi, Divine.
Yeah. Things that you can.
Present.
Yeah. Things you can.
For example, I've seen posts of Ria and Mia and Raquel and Kathy on how you spend your educational moments with your kids.
Yes.
But I am
all those Ria's toys.
Yeah, Ria's
DIY.
I want to hear about your treasure hunt.
Really?
So has treasure hunt.
Treasure hunt. Yes. Nice. Yeah. Let your kids hide it.
The teacher. So iba talaga pag teacher, no? Teacher.
Yeah.
And it's most difficult in this season when everyone's forced indoors and very challenging to explain to a 17-month-old why she can't go out. That's true. Naku, si Moxie pa naman sanay sa lakwat siya. So
Uh,
making daldal, so Moxie's a super talkative baby.
yeah.
So what do we
You
do
know,
at
you can,
that age, Kip? Like 17 months, like toddler?
you know, you can convert one of your rooms and make it look like it's the outside. This is the
Tired of
outside.
singing and dancing.
Yeah. Tired of
Buti na lang singing talaga ayaw. Oo nga, ayaw. Yeah, we convert one of the rooms. And
yeah,
make it
convert one of the rooms
physical.
and make it look like this is the outside and let's pretend. There's a really a lot of, but it really requires us kasi as parents to be really present. And it's a challenge, especially if we're not used to being at home
Yeah.
all the time. So, or maybe, you know, as long, I think you can go out naman, but as long as it's just, there are no other people, di ba?
Yeah, social distancing.
And, yeah, so, mga timing lang. Tapos, what they say, di ba, parang clean the shoes, don't bring it in, things
Yeah.
like, will just be more. Pero,
So Moxie
yeah,
to
so,
water the plants. Oh, that's nice.
yeah, oh, madadam na.
Baka marunong na magluto yan si Moxie soon. Also, si Ayam says, I made a map and hide treasures around.
Nice.
Fun. Gardening is also kaso binubunot ng kids yung mga dahon.
What did Mia say? So my son's
Yeah, what
birthday on Wednesday, it will just be his sisters made massage vouchers, organized
that's
books.
cute.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah.
Please share, no? When you have those, please share and tag us so we can share it also for moms to see.
Yeah, we'll forward it also. It can trigger the imagination of some moms also.
Yeah.
Creative things we can do with not spending. And for pockets of time also read also moms read books or go online, you know, for not something to train yourself, you know, some books you've been wanting to read or videos you want to watch that you can learn aside from the, you know, the usual just the usual telenovelas. You can just challenge yourself to learn something new also.
Yeah.
So,
I also actually started a new journal. Well, when we landed here, kasi someone
really?
posted, I shared that also on my IG na, imagine journaling these times. You know, what's happening with COVID, this country, what you're doing with your kids. But it'd be nice to look back on it when things are better now. So if
That's
you're into
true.
writing, you can do a journal or scrapbook or something. It's also an outlet, diba? And it also helps you process. In your
That's true.
But before you sleep,
Yeah.
you just write. It also, or you can even make it positive na, what you learned today, or what you're grateful about today, so that before you sleep, you sleep on a positive note.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yung mga ano talaga. Meditate with them. Diba? You'll be surprised that they can be calmer more than we are. So just kahit na 1 minute, let's pretend, you know, just close your eyes.
Yeah.
Let's time it. If the timer rings, then it's 1 minute na. Or sometimes, I'll make my children guess also. Make them close their eyes and then guess if it's already 1 minute, raise your hand. Whoever's closest to 1 minute. Because sometimes you know, we don't realize how 1 minute is. So sometimes they raise their hand, it's only 30 seconds. Or the other time, it was only 15 seconds. 1 minute!
Yeah.
But you don't know that time can be really, you know, that sense of time that you can really do so many things. So in that moment to moment.
Oh, I remember my sister-in-law, she had really talkative kids, no? Like really, really talkative, like non-stop. Eh, kasi madaldal rin my sister-in-law. So she would do parang a contest on who can stay quiet the longest. So, contest. So, or you can set the time again. Like 1 minute quiet time. Yun yan. And then you'll also realize how long. Kasi torture yan for talkative kids, diba?
Yes, it helps them to
Yeah. So that's fun games can do.
Playing pretend. Our baby likes cars and mechanical things. So when he says that he's an elevator, we press his nose and carry him.
Yeah.
That's good. Yes. They love that. You know, when our kids are bigger, sometimes they'll say, do you remember? Ganyan. Pero we don't remember, but it's etched in their memory.
Yes, right.
So when they're having fun, it carves more on their long-term memory.
Yeah.
So,
Wait,
so these are the
um,
silly things.
is it Igal? Igal. Bought a lot of books from Big Bad Wolf, so we're going through our loot. Tomorrow we'll have a cooking class.
Oh,
Nice. Yeah, Montessori
Yeah.
activities. Yep.
yes.
Pouring from a pitcher. I mean, for toddlers, those are fun, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Teach them by the greetings of different. We tried it one time. We greeted each other like today is Spanish Day, so they'll learn like words in Spanish. So we try to like guess or just make things up. So and then you can just you don't have to be so strict about it. Kahit nga Tagalog minsan, di ba?
Oo.
We go back to learning Filipino.
Yeah. So Aaron Ocampo posted. I saw a post that dad made them draw him sleeping as a contest.
How cute!
Oh, dad's so tired. Draw me.
Stickers for toddlers, yeah. Or food
Okay,
them.
divine.
Yeah.
I made an email account for
Divine.
Margaret to send her messages there because I might lose the journal. Oh, that's nice. So I can check my sent item. She's 3 years old. Oh, what a gift.
Oh, nice.
It's a good idea.
Oh, nice.
Fun.
That's fun. That's good. You can see there's so many,
Yeah.
There's so many things you can really do. And to creative things we can try. Anyway, we're gonna be home, or just things we don't really, we don't we take for granted.
Yeah.
Treasure hunt. Yeah, one time for food also. I saw one post like the parents made the kid like they're gonna give them any food, they can't have any reaction.
Okay.
So it just helps them, control their reaction. Parang So there's sour, there's vegetables, there's fruits of different kinds that they don't usually eat. So it makes them, experiment on their taste buds. So it's good also to introduce different flavors.
Yeah, it's yeah.
DIY pizza.
Can we before we end, yeah, it's 10:40. Can we give them tips on self-care? Because we can also give a lot of ideas and energy to our kids because we're trying to keep them busy. How do we, besides of course breathing and all?
Yeah. So one of the things, definitely the energy really comes from us. So we really need to start the day. If you can, start the day also, make sure you have pockets of time just for you. Maybe when you can wake up a little earlier than the rest of the family, so you can have that time to be able, to of course, to be able to align, you'll have your own prayer time or meditation time. And then journal, those things. And then at the same, before you do our mommy roles. And then also during pockets of time, especially now, sleep. Take power naps. It's really going to be good for our immune system also, because when we're asleep, our brain cells are also rejuvenating. So if your kids are still napping, nap with them. And then, medyo let's take this time to let go of the checklist first. I mean, it's hard, especially for people who are used to it. But So be gentle with yourselves, and if you are able to also uh, you know have conversations with your children of what you need also. So mommy needs this, or also what they need. So I think spending more time also and being present with them at those little moments, it also rejuvenates. So if there are also questions, this is the time also if you have any, like if you think you have recurring patterns that is happening to yourself, take time to journal it, and then seek for help. You can always email us. You can always email me also if you have any questions. I'll be happy to process that with you guys, or recommend things that you can do also. So I think our make time for self-care is different for each one of us, but I think the most is time for silence and time to let go of the fears and let go of always ask yourself, is this coming from fear or is this coming from, and fear is false expectations appearing real. That's the
false expectations.
Yeah, false expectations appearing real. Maybe it's just an expectation.
Yeah.
And when you realize it's coming from fear, don't judge it. Write it down, and
and release.
And release it. Release that energy. Because if you focus too much, also, so unplug also from the news. Too much news, because it can, it's a waste of energy if we just keep on. We have a tendency kasi to, criticize or get triggered by what's happening. So it's good to just channel the energy within first, and to positive things. So that's the one that will grow. So,
like that. We have other comments here, like working out, of course, from Mia. Working out, proud.
Yes.
Exercise.
Oh, yes.
And eating healthy. Yes, eating healthy.
So move.
Yeah, move.
Eat. Relax. Connect. Okay. And then sleep.
Yeah, sleep.
So those are the natural drivers of energy. And start also challenging yourself. How will I be different after this?
Yeah.
So something that you can really, because there has to be a change. If there's no change that will happen to you personally and to the way you live, then
or maybe
we lost
say, how can you be better?
Yes. Huh? Yeah, how can you be better in just one thing, just one little thing. So also with being silent, diba, if we jumble up the words, it's really listen. So we can't listen.
Oh, that's
we can't be silent. So just also that, listen more, talk less. And then practice your non-reactivity muscle. When something triggers you, practice to be more curious than judging.
Oh yes, let's talk about curiosity. So what I learned from Kit, she's my strengths coach. So when you're triggered, so when someone says something that triggers you, or you hear the news and something triggers you, instead of judging, you just say, I wonder, diba? You be curious about it. So you don't react. Instead, you wonder about it and maybe think about why that person said that or whatever, but it doesn't hit you and you react. So you don't have to expel energy on whatever.
Yes. So just the antidote.
Zen.
Yeah. The antidote to judgment is always curiosity.
Yeah. Oh, another thing pala. So in terms of self-care, as I mentioned, this is my first time to brush my hair in 3 days. So in relation to that, I think we take time to fix ourselves. Kasi di ba, just be in our pajamas. I mean, I've stayed in my pajamas till like noon. Although sometimes okay rin naman yon. But when you need a pick-me-up, lang, di ba, you just fix yourself, brush your hair, take a long shower, or put lipstick, put lotion, I don't know, anything that makes you feel better. So
Yes.
yeah.
Correct. It's that's why you seem to have lots of energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, take care of yourself. Move. I think that's a good advice. Yeah, you don't have to do strenuous activities, but make every movement very intentional. So I remember before when I just gave birth, and you can't really move. You're still but I exaggerate my movement. So when I'm pushing the stroller before, I like really push it and stretch it. And when I'm walking, I'm really like feeling my legs move and stretch. When I'm gonna pick up something or reach for something, I really stretch my body, my neck, So parang very intentional movement that you're going to do. So it helps you also be more intentional with your movements. It's like you're squatting na yan, you're doing your squats, or you're lifting something hard. Now that it's time also to reorganize our home. So if you're lifting something that's heavy, parang you're just lifting weights also. So you're working your arms, things that are you can really they make it very intentional. So and it's silly if you think it that way. But also I like to distinguish a goal from an intention. Yeah, I think that's also good for us. So intention is very internal. Goal is more external. So start with an intention. What is your intention for the day? When you're starting the day, what is your intention for the day? And then remind yourself throughout the day. This is, what's my intention today? So one of the things that we also do, especially we're going to be in the presence of our children. I know they're lovable, but they can also, drain us sometimes, especially if they're demanding our attention because they're also not used to being at home. Connect before you correct. Connection before correction. So if you feel like you're going to correct them, stop yourself and then ask yourself, okay, what do they need? What do you need right now? So it will help you to really just connect first before you can correct them. So
Love that, kid.
yeah.
Thanks
so
so
it
much.
will be very helpful.
Thank you for all the
Okay.
learnings. So
Yes.
if you can follow Kit, she's at Kit M Llamas. Kit Malvar Llamas. So follow her and then just feel free to connect with her as well. So she helps me a lot in everything I do. So thank you, Kit. And then we will have
thank
this session every month. So please tell your friends about it. Join us, and then don't forget to tag us when you try to practice some of the things you learned today. We pray for everyone, everyone's safety and health. Keep smiling and just be positive, and let's be grateful that we still have each other and our families. And our sessions this April, all our learning events will probably be all online. So which is also to think positively about it. More of you can join. So just watch out for all the announcements.
Yes.
So
hug yourself tighter, longer.
yeah, let's breathe for a while. Let's breathe together.
Yes, let's breathe
Let's
together.
up a bit before we go to sleep. We close our eyes. Okay, breathe in. Fill up your lungs. Okay, breathe out slowly. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Okay, open your eyes. Okay. Thank you, everyone. So nice to see you.
Yes.
God bless.
So nice to see everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Kit. Good night.
Thank you, Janice.
Make
Stay
time for what matters.
safe.
Make time for silly. Bye.
Stay silly. Bye.
Stay safe.